So this is a video lecture to explain the SSA case. This is often called the ambiguous case because there are many solutions if we have SSA, okay? It's not for sure what kind of a triangle it is. So let's say we're given a side next to it, and an angle, kind of in that order, or angle. So the angle is here. Okay, we're gonna say that this is A1, it's an acute angle. And here we are also given a side right next to it. And then we're given a second side, S2, but I'm going to kind of draw it over here, okay, because I don't know exactly where it's going to go. So it's going to be attached to that angle up at the top there, and I'm going to put it somewhere on the triangle. However, I don't really know what that bottom side is, okay, so I'm going to kind of measure this and draw it on a different piece of paper. This is S2. Okay, so notice that I can fit it here. But if I rotate it, then I can also fit it on the other side if I kind of extend the bottom there. Okay, because remember that bottom side is sort of an ambiguous length. We don't know how long it is. Okay, so this occurs when we have S1 is the greatest side, so S1 is greater than S2 is greater than S1 sine A1. Now let me explain what that S1 sine A1 comes from. So if I drop down a dotted line, I call this the height. Okay, then sine A1 is equal to h over S1, because I've just made a right triangle. Okay, so then h is equal to S1 sine A1. Now, if I have that height is kind of the least one, right, then that's what we're talking about here. So S2 greater than S1 sine A1. Now, let's say I have actually an S2 that's smaller than h, okay? Notice if I put that S2 there, if it's smaller than h, then I'm never going to be able to make a triangle, okay? So in this case, there is no solution, okay? So if your side 2 is smaller than the height that you can draw in this triangle, if it's smaller than S1 sine A, then there's no solution. Okay, so what if S2 is equal to S1 sine A1? Okay, so that means it's equal to the height. So I'm going to draw that on this extra piece of paper here. So then it would be it's the same as the height, right? Which means it's really only solution. I can't rotate that and fit it anywhere else. It just makes a right triangle. Okay, so if S2 equals S1 sine A1, that makes a right triangle. There's only one solution. Okay, so then we're just talking about the other case, right? Where S1 is greater than S2 is greater than that height. Then I have this ambiguous case where I can swing it back and forth.